Hello, everyone. Welcome to Book and Sip, where we read some books and take some sips. This is going to be a little different. We're going to do our January book reads. So, the things that we read in January but didn't really get a chance to talk about. And just FYI, I am sipping something. I told you about this before. I still think they're really good. These little Olipop that are like prebiotic sodas. I've tried a couple different ones. This is definitely my favorite.
I have to try it. I still don't trust it. It tastes good. I am drinking something too that I've had before. I have plenty of these in my fridge always. Cayman Jacks, watermelon margarita thingies.
And see, I asked my boss if I could have a margarita today, and she said no. But I was on work, so
I got
we
nothing.
had it. We had a training. We had an hour lunch. We went to On the Border, and I was like, "How frowned upon is it to have a margarita while we're at lunch?" She was like, "Very." I was like, "But I'm not working with kids right now."
You went to On the Border without me.
It was a work lunch.
I hope you get the runs.
See, I'll take you again because I still didn't get my drink. She said no, and I was there with a bunch of work people
Mm.
as we talked about work stuff and how much we didn't like work. Anyways, our January reads. All right, Andre, you read more books than me, so I'm gonna let you start first.
Okay,
Here
great.
is her picks, her reads for
Yeah.
January.
Patricia Briggs, the Mercy Thompson series. I think that's like book 12. I love it. If you like werewolves, fantasy, shape-shifting, um, I recommend the Mercy Thompson series by Patricia Briggs.
Hmm.
Uh, Snow Like Ashes, it was all right. I don't have much to say about it. Book.
Okay.
It's on the list. Rachel Morgan, City of Wishes. It was a retelling of Cinderella.
Hmm.
It was interesting, not as I expected. I've read a couple of retellings like Sleeping Beauty. Rumpelstiltskin seems to be very popular. There's a couple of books about those, and so I thought Cinderella is a good one. It was an interesting take on it. I'm not giving it my seal of recommendation, but if you like Cinderella, you might like it.
Okay. See, I never cared for Cinderella. I was more
Yeah.
of a Beauty and the Beast fan,
Yes, me too. Me
and
too.
I don't know why
I've read a
Cinderella.
that it's okay. It was okay. It was better than but the
Okay.
writing was better than Rachel Morgan. I hate to say that because I do like a lot of Rachel Morgan's writings, but not this one. It seemed very juvenile.
Hmm.
And it
Okay.
probably was the story. Cinderella is juvenile.
She is. Oh, they all are. Don't get me started on Ariel. That's like my least favorite out of all of them.
Oh, okay. We'll have to talk about that. A Garland of Bones, Carolyn Haynes. Again, this is a very long series. She is it's like a mystery, cozy little mystery. Her and her best friend have a detective agency. They go solve these little crimes, but there's ghosts in there. There's a love story in there. So it's cute little short mysteries. If you like those type of things, I do recommend the Carolyn Haynes books. I think that's like book 20 something. There's tons of them. So we do that. I have a book club at work that I belong to. And Everyone in My Family Has Killed Somebody was the book of the month. That is why that one is on my list. It is obviously a mystery murder slash uh, novel. It was very differently written. It had a narrator that knew all these things, and it literally was everyone in this family had committed some sort of killing.
Heinous crime.
Yes, some killing. It was great. It was, yeah, it was a good book. It was a good book.
Okay. And
Nella
then what about
Larson
this first one?
has this was probably my number one book of the month. It was very, very short. I say that it is my number one book of the month. It's a very old book. It is the telling of obviously a Black woman who was
Hmm.
passed as white. It is about the It's about two women, one who could be passing and one who actually was passing. She had a white husband, another one who could have been passing, but she was choosing not to pass. And it was how their lives were different, how they met, relate, like how they knew each other, they grew up together, and kind of followed this lady around through her adventure. And it gave an insight to passing that I never known. We hear about it, how it used to happen all the time, but for me, I had never really thought of the damage or hardship that it would have caused on the person who was passing.
Yeah.
We know that they feared being caught. I think that that constant fear that someone would catch you, because if they found out, they would kill you, right? Because you
Mhm.
were committing a crime. But outside of that, you think about the relationships that you have with people. You seek out people who are like you. When you go to a
Right.
party, you look around the room, you try to find someone you can relate to, and typically it's someone who you physically are drawn to. So you think about this person who grew up with a black family, all they knew was black, and then they grow up and they switch to white, and that's all that they can be around. They hear those negative comments, the bad
Mhm.
language that they call the black people, and they have to sit there and take it. So it follows this lady around where she sees her friends and she's like, I miss what it was like to be me. So
Wow.
it was yeah, it was a good book. I have to say it was short, but it was a good book. So
Okay.
gave a very interesting insight for me.
Love it. Okay, so this is what I read in January. Elevator Pitch. That one was by far my favorite. It was a very cute interracial story. The girl is dealing with not a mental health issue. She went through 2 years in an abusive relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And when she got out of the relationship, she felt she spent so much time stuck in this relationship and not ever doing anything that she wanted to do that she created a list of things that she wanted to do to help get her out of the shell. And she's going to therapy, and it's literally her going through trying to integrate herself back to society because this guy literally kept her emotionally locked up and didn't want her to be around anybody to the point to even now leaving her house makes her anxious. So this guy who is her neighbor is helping her get out of the house, try different things, and kind of showing her that, hey, there is life after what you went through. Um, so of course it's a love story. They do fall in love, but it's a very cute story. That was definitely one of my favorite. At the Waterfall was interesting. It was kind of a romantic fantasy, a romantasy, because it goes back and forth between two stories. So the first story is way, way in the past, and it's a black woman and a white man who fell in love, but at that time it was frowned upon. They could not be together. Um, but they also couldn't bear the thought of being with someone else, so they did a bit of witchcraft and essentially sealed their souls in a necklace, which caused them to forget that each other existed. So they could go on living without knowing that, this person fell in love. The necklaces was passed down in their family. These two ended up with the necklace and they could not figure out why they were drawn to each other until they found an old journal that talked about these two couples, them going into the forest, and the story from the past. It's kind of funny. It's told from the perspective of the forest. So the forest is talking about this couple that comes there, and he creates this waterfall for them so they could be together in secret. So only these two people know where this waterfall is. If anybody else comes to the forest says, I make sure no one can get to this area. So when they get there, they find the waterfall and they're like, okay, this waterfall's not on any map. It's just here. How does no one know about this giant waterfall that's here? So it's a very interesting story. I did really enjoy it.
I'm
This one
adding.
I got on a whim. How to turn your husband into your book boyfriend. That one I got on. It's a short story. It's like 187 pages. So it's not long at all. And it's it's about a girl who gets a book called How to Turn Your Husband to Your Book Boyfriend. So she's going through the steps and trying to do these things to her husband because she finds divorce papers in the drawer. And she's like, "Well, if he was a book boyfriend, he wouldn't want to divorce me at all." So she's going through the steps, and it's a really funny and cute story. Obviously, it's a giant misunderstanding, but her husband does find this ridiculous book, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure this book was meant to be a satire because none of this makes sense. How are you supposed to have a meet cute with me when we already know each other?" It's like, yeah. She manages to do one though. She did manage to have a meet cute with him because she's a stay-at-home wife. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna get a job at DoorDash because he always orders from DoorDash, and I'm gonna take his lunch order to his job, and then we'll
Okay.
have our meet cute. But it's an absolutely hysterical story. Um, if I had to rate the three, which is hard because they were all good, I would definitely say Elevator Pitch, How to Turn Your Husband to Your Book Boyfriend, and then At the Waterfall.
Okay.
But I did read two more books. I still don't know how I feel about Shark. I still don't know how I feel about Shark.
It's my fault she read Sharp. I found a video this lady posted. I wish we knew her name so we could give her credit. And send it to her. Yeah. I started it and I was like, no.
See, once I'm in it, I'm in it.
Said it
I
was
have
good.
to finish it. I've never started a book and not finished it. I may have put it down and come back to it, but I've always finished it. So Sharp is about a girl who falls into the water and meets a humanoid shark. So he's a shape shifting shark. He can shapeshift into a human form of sorts, but he still has shark like features. So their female population is declining. So their shark council said, you can take a human bride as long as she willingly comes. Well, this lady fell off a cliff. She slipped while running, and he thought she threw herself into the ocean for me, so she must love me. Logic. So he's like, yay, you're mine now. And it's, yeah, uh, I can't even give it a rating. I don't know what to say about it. There was a lot of interesting things happening in that one.
Indeed.
Yes. Just look up the anatomy of a shark and you'll know. Learn something new there. So this book, Children of Anguish and Anarchy, is part of a series. I've read the other two. This is a very good series. It's kind of based around colorism. So you have the lighter skinned black people who are considered royalty, and then you have the darker skinned black people who are considered peasants. So if you're born lighter skinned, you're automatically royalty. It's quite literally based on your skin color. Now, the darker skinned people, when they're born with white hair, they have magical abilities. The royal bloodline felt that this wasn't right. They're like, if they become too powerful, they can take over. So they found this crystal called magicite, and they essentially killed off all of the magic users. Anyone with white hair died. And if they didn't die, they were essentially had a collar put on them so they could no longer use their magic. So the whole point of the story is the main character trying to figure out how to reconnect them to their magic. There's a lot of African language used in it. They do tell you what they're saying, but it's almost like a African historical legend story. Um, very interesting. Like I said, this is the third book, and it actually got a movie deal coming on for the first book. Um, it was really good. It was very good. It was almost like if Harry Potter was in Africa. Uh, so definitely would recommend this one. Absolutely, absolutely loved it. So those are our reads. If you haven't looked at our Instagram page, this is what we're currently reading. And I can tell you right now, both me and Drea are not sure what we got ourselves to.
Because I don't know if y'all followed the previous video, we were saying how we had a book picked out, but it didn't,
Yes.
we weren't sure it was going to be the 5-star read that we were looking for. Uh,
Yes.
I'm gonna go out on a limb right here today and let you guys know that 5-star read that we were looking for, this ain't it.
It's not it. It's not
We
gonna be.
one chapter in and I'm ready to throw the book. So
But see, here's the thing. It got 4.5 on Goodreads.
yeah, I mean, listen, a lot can happen, but I'm gonna go out on the limb. She's gonna hold her opinion. I'm gonna go out on the limb for the bit that I've read and go ahead and say it's not gonna be a 5-star for me.
Hoping it gets better. I've already read my first 6 chapters. So, in honor of Black History Month, we decided to do A Romantasy by Black author Jessica Cage.
And this
She's an
is my fault. I'm gonna
international.
take ownership of this. This book was
Yes,
my fault.
she did. She sent it to me. So I was like, okay, award-winning author,
It sounded good.
4.5 stars on Goodreads. This is gonna be good. Um, so she has 5 books out. Her next book is coming out in March. I accidentally hooked up with a vampire. And the current book that she has right now is this one. This is what we're reading. I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend. I was like, okay, it's Valentine's Day. It's romantic. It's cute. She's feeling lonely. She summons herself a demon
Plus,
vampire.
I'm into summoning anything around here these days. Summon. Yeah, it fit me too. Like I was ready.
So I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. The last single friend in her group and tired of being stood up by her girls, a drunken Raina,
Right.
turns to her first love, a book. After jokingly casting a spell her favorite character used to conjure loving boyfriends, the results aren't nearly as funny because the damn spell worked, just not in the way she thought it would. Now she has a brooding demon who she needs to sever the magical bond with if she ever wants to live a normal life again. So yeah, she joked around. She got drunk. She's like, y'all see, y'all have magical books that you've read that have magical spells, and she decided to try it, and it worked. Boom, demon boyfriend. Um, yeah. How many chapters are you in?
3.
3. Okay, so this is the kind of the schedule we had because it's not long. It's 23 chapters. I said we would be done by with chapter 6 by February 15th. I've already read 1 through 6. Um,
Are you sure you want to stretch this out?
well, I tried to make it an easy read because I
Okay.
was trying. I actually shortened it. I had it going to like March 21st.
Okay.
So I actually shortened it to March 8th. I was trying to get it all done in February. Then I realized February is only like 28 days. So we probably could finish it. So I was like, March 8th. That's as far as we need to go. That's like 6 chapters per day. Um, so I have finished the first 6. I actually finished the first 6 chapters in a day.
Yeah.
But just in case you're a slow reader or you don't have time or you have a kid running around you trying to get all your attention, Miss Drea,
Yes. Because
I made it
other
easy.
things in between. So I'm also, you know, reading other things. So
Yeah. So um we'll get into the first 6 chapters.
in 2 days, we'll be back.
We'll be back. I'm not gonna say the book was a mistake yet. Okay? I'm not gonna say it was a mistake
I'm not good. Listen,
yet.
I think the book, I actually I think you should read the book. I just don't think it's the 5-star that we were hoping it to be. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. Yes. I'm trying to figure out where in here it got 4.5 stars. But like I said, I'm only 6 chapters in. There's still like 20, 15, 16 more chapters to go. It could take a turn. I don't know. As of right now, it's it's just smut.
But it is.
It's a
Which for
book of
some
smut at
people,
this
let's be
point.
clear, for some people, that's all that they need is the
Yes. If you're that person who's
But
really like, I'm not gonna say I'm not into smut. I'm gonna say this came on too hard, too strong, and too fast. It came on too hard, too strong,
you're
and too fast.
conservative.
There was no build. There was
That's
no
what you
type
need.
of
You're a
build
married
to it.
woman. You want to be romanced and all of that nonsense. Us single girls who are out here Googling Amazon oils, because I'm gonna run this spell myself. Check it out.
Not 100% true. Not 100% true.
I'm just gonna
Even
tell you,
married,
if it works, I'll let you know.
even married,
My delivery comes tomorrow.
even us married women don't always like romance. It's nice,
Mm,
but sometimes hard and fast is nice too. This one was just different. I don't know why.
the whole thing so far is different.
When you get to chapter 6, I'm questioning some of the positions that because I'm like, okay, I have to remember he's a demon, so he's obviously stronger than the average human, but but
But
booty juice.
booty juice.
Is that what dating is like right now, Drea?
I wouldn't know. I don't date.
Well, that might be pants so tight you get booty juice all in the seats.
Listen, yeah, it started off all the way left.
It did.
All the
It
way.
did. And like I'm looking at his horns in the picture and I'm having other questions now.
And yeah, when they described, that's not how I saw the horns in my head. I thought they were more,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like my imagination is really stretching in this one. So I we may have to try again in March.
Yeah, we'll try it again. Listen, we
We,
we
we
got
may have to try again in March. Like right now, the side books I'm reading are turning out better than the books we're actually promoting.
yeah, so your description of elevator pitch. I do have a book I'm gonna toss your way. We did float it. I did read it. So I'm gonna toss it your way and let you add it to your list. Hopefully you can get through it in February because I'd like for us both to say we read that book and I'd like to see what you think of
Okay.
it. But
Okay.
it reminded me of some of the points you discussed in elevator pitch. So I've got a suggestion for you.
Okay. Okay. No. All right, guys. That's all we got. Go ahead and get
Pick
I
it up,
actually summon a
join us.
demon and
Yes,
just
just grab
it,
something to drink because baby, you'll need it.
yes. If you have Kindle Unlimited, it's free on there. I'm not sure. I can't listen to smut on audio. I can't. I know you can
I can.
because it accidentally popped up in your car. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, okay. So I went over to Erica's and my sweet little loving baby cakes. He was climbing the car and his one of his favorite people is Auntie Erica. And she's walking us to the car, and then I start the car. Now, mind you, I was not listening to this with my kid in the car, but when you cut your car on, your phone automatically connects, and whatever was the last thing app it was playing,
And
it
all
popped
you hear
up
is
in right in the
this
middle of
is
one of
cock.
those
And I'm like,
nasty things.
stupid clutch.
And Erica's like, he's right here. What are you listening to? It wasn't me. I didn't. So, yes, I can listen
No,
to it.
no, I can't listen to it. I have to read it. I gotta ease myself into them scenes. When it just comes out on the audio, I'm like, oh wait, hang on. I'm not. It's too hot here for this.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Hold on. Hold on.
Let me. Okay, okay. I'm ready. I'm
Breathe.
ready.
Breathe.
All right, guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram
Oh,
and Facebook. Both of them. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't mean to do the thing on Facebook. I don't know how that happened. When you said that it's popping up on Facebook, I was like, oh, I didn't do that, but yay. So there it is. All right, guys, we will see you next time when we talk about all this smut.
yes. Happy
Bye,
Valentine's.
guys.
So buy your loved one something sweet. You can
Yes, yes.
treat.
Friday, Valentine's Day. Do it, guys. Do
Yeah.
it.